Anthony Joshua versus Daniel Dubois. Who's going to win this fight? When we vote about who's going to win this fight, let's take a look at their latest performances, in which Anthony Joshua fought Otto Wallen, in which both started out very slow until Anthony Joshua let his hands go, rocked Otto Wallen in round 5,
letting his hands go.
and Otto Wallen quit on the stool at the end of round 5. And after this, Anthony Joshua went on to fight Francis Ngannou, in which Anthony Joshua dropped Francis Ngannou in round 1.
Focus.
Anthony Joshua then dropped and knocked off Francis Ngannou in round 2.
Right hand. He's Joshua can
Now let's take a look at Daniel Dubois' latest performances, in which he fought Jarrell Miller, in which Daniel Dubois landed some great shots, took control of the fight, put a lot of punishment on Jarrell Miller, in which the rest enough to start the fight in round 10. After this, Daniel Dubois went on to fight Filip Hrgović, in which Filip Hrgović took control of the early rounds until Daniel Dubois let his hands go, brought Filip Hrgović in round 7. And the doctors stopped the fight due to Philip's cuts in round day. And based off their latest performances, I got Anthony Joshua winning this fight.
Now, here's the thing about this fight. It's a 50-50 fight. It truly is, because you got Anthony Joshua, who after losing to Usyk twice back-to-back, has been on a good run. He's had 4 wins in which he stopped 3 of those opponents. But that's where things started to get a little bit confusing, to see if you can use those wins as a way to decide if he could beat Daniel Dubois, because you could argue that those 4 opponents were never seen as a threat for Anthony Joshua, on top of the fact that one of them wasn't even a real boxer. So I don't think we can use those wins as a way to say that Joshua can beat Daniel Dubois, regardless if he put on good performances. Okay, now you might be saying, okay, well, Joshua hasn't beaten the best opponents, but who has Daniel Dubois beaten? Well, Daniel Dubois just recently stopped Filip Hrgović, who was undefeated going into the fight with 17 wins, with 14 of those wins coming by knockout. So he was definitely seen as a big threat for Daniel Dubois, on top of the fact that Filip Hrgović had beaten Zhilei Zhang. So I believe that Daniel Dubois beating Filip Hrgović is far more impressive than Joshua's last 4 fights. But now let's talk about how this fight can go. Well, there's 2 ways this fight can go. The first way involves Anthony Joshua looking to set up and time that big overhand right, since that's how he's managed to hurt and drop his recent opponents. So that's how Anthony Joshua will win, by knocking out Daniel Dubois. And the second way this fight can go involves Daniel Dubois actually boxing with Anthony Joshua and making Joshua work throughout the whole entire fight, fighting in the inside and fighting at range. And I believe that if Daniel Dubois is able to do that and the fight goes all rounds, then I do believe Daniel Dubois will be able to take the win by decision. So just to make it clear, Anthony Joshua has to knock out Daniel Dubois to win this fight, and Daniel Dubois has to make it a rough fight if he wants to win by decision. But I do believe that Daniel Dubois, being the younger fighter and having more advantages, he has a way better chance at beating Anthony Joshua. So I do got Daniel Dubois beating Anthony Joshua.